Well, God, I mean, do you think being an artist now, like, you're a target now? Like, does it make you think it makes you a target?
I don't know. I think I'll see. When at the end of the month in December, DJ Toshi has his Classic Storm Radio anniversary. Obviously, I'm the host, so I have, of the actual show, so I have to go of the podcast, so I have to go celebrate the show. And I don't know. I haven't been around other rappers and shit. You know what I mean? The only other rappers there's a whole bunch of MCs, but they all give me love, or they don't say anything. And I haven't seen any like dark tweets. Like.
No, but that email that was
yeah,
pretty dark.
That was crazy.
That's dark. That's see, I didn't expect it to come that way, but
yeah, that's a whole issue. I'll explain it though, because it has to do with this knowledge. It has to do with everything, and I think it's a profound story that it's not really new to me. It's just blending both worlds that I'm in is what's new. Kinda. Because I'm an artist, but like.
Yeah, but I see like because somebody coming here really to advance their rap career.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That people want to come to
now. There's been people that I've built with in the classroom that haven't really come back, but I still see them in the art world, the cipher, and it's peace. Peace. You know what I mean? And because they know how real it was, and they know that they shouldn't. You know what I mean? And they're gonna learn it as they go along or when they're ready. And for us, we know who won't. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And it's okay. I think if it draws them to be more focused toward also having integrity with everything they do, then we did our job in that respect. You know what I mean? But this has to do with something that a lot of people don't understand that goes on with us when we teach. When we have a failed student, when we have a failed student, a lot of people think they have experiences of failed students when they try to teach them and they don't give a shit. Believe in Jesus Christ, whatever, like that. Or all of a sudden they go back to the church, right? Which happens, right? I think I had a student. I'm not sure who it was. I'm pretty sure he was my student. And I saw him writing some stuff about, I studied all this stuff. Like he didn't say this, but a lot of stuff. And I know he probably was thinking of me or what I share with him, but Jesus Christ is the Savior and this and that, and but because he was friends with a lot of gods on the Facebook, they were going at him and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And when he texts me, DM me about something, he didn't even mention that. He's like, peace, God, this and that. He didn't even mention that he's into Jesus Christ. And I saw it in the Facebook, but then he DMs me on the Instagram. I let it go because what he decides to do in life, though, is not really my concern like that. Right? I shared things, though, but they were never under the study where they said, I'm going to be the God and go through 120 and stuff like that. There are many, many people that you teach, though, especially in the classroom, that are of the population. That's how we teach here in the school. We share it. Right? And this particular individual emailed me. That's how they first, right? He emailed me. He says, I'm this such and such. I go by the name. And I'm going to say his name because I don't, I want him to be defiled like that. And he goes, I rhyme by the name of Sam Hill. And,
You say you want him to be defiled?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And I'll explain why. Because usually with failed students, I just let them go, even if I have to bomb them. I've kicked many people out of this classroom, And so I said, that's peace. Why don't you come through? It's not just, he's telling me, I want to be a rapper that, I want to up my rap game and this and that, So he's linking it with the whole thing, And the time that you had met him, he was doing the same thing when he was talking to you, right? So I said, come here. This is about this. It's not about that and the other, right? It's not about that. I said that in emails. But I said, I'm also here every time. So you could come here and you could learn. Everybody is welcome, So he comes through and I make that born again. Like, listen, however you rhyme, and I heard some of the songs, you're okay, you got some stuff. I didn't know his story as far as that goes. But I try to get his story about the knowledge. He said some stuff about, he thought you had to pay to get in here and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is, dubious, whatever. I hear all types of reasons. Right. So I don't need to to verify everybody's reasoning. You're here now, learn. But he's grown already. He's a grown man. So I said, listen, I do this, there are other teachers that kick out old people. You know what I'm saying? Dark Kim's screening process is much more vicious than mine. You know what I'm saying? And others as well. They're like, this is for the, like, you've been there. Like, there are elders that used to go, this is for the young and you too old to get this now. Right. And they gotta go. You know what I mean? I don't do that because I try to find worth in everyone, and see if they can teach it to someone else and things like that, right? And learn more about them, you know what I mean? And because it's happened in a good way before too.
Teaching civilization.
Yeah, and other older people have taught it to other people, and some to their kids, some to other people, that strangers, so I think it's valid. So I gave him a shot and I said, listen, I'm not going to hold your hand. You've got to be diligent with this, and I'm going to give you Supreme Math and this plus lesson I wrote on the Supreme Math, so you to ask questions, learn a little of the history, memorize this. Now, in the beginning, memorizing Supreme Math, that's like a very easy task to memorize. 1 is Nas, 2 is Wisdom, right? To 0 is cipher, right? But after every time, like, we build and everything like that, and the class is over or it's nearing its end, we go into hip-hop, we talk about hip-hop, it's cool. He has to tell a story, though, how he was supposed to be with Ralph McDaniels, and Ralph McDaniels screwed him, this and that, right?
I heard that story too.
Again and again and again, So much so that he's giving this story to every new student that's here and stuff like that. And, and I'm telling him, like, listen.
And just for the record, I don't know Ralph to be that way. Not to say that it didn't happen, but
right.
I know Ralph,
and the same for me.
I don't know him to be like
as
that.
Far as, like, the 26 years I've been in this store, I never heard things like that about Ralph. Never. And I hear all types of shit. I hear all types of things, and let alone whether I find truthful or not, but I never even heard stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I said, after a while, it would be overbearing, and I said, listen, and I would tell him, what about MF Doom? Went through so much trials and tribulations, though, but he didn't just cry about the record labels that dropped him and his brother and stuff, right? He came back independently, and that's the whole symbolism of Doom, like the revenge of Dr. Doom, against Fantastic Four. Like, that's the whole imagery, and he became a cult figure. Like, he's a cult figure. He's a cult legend, Right? And deservedly so. He's a legend. I love Doom. I'm a big fan. You know what I mean?
Not everybody has that kind of chops to do that.
No. But in the spirit of it, though, anyone can make music and feel vindicated that it didn't stop me from making music. You know what I mean? I think that would be like the point of it, because it's unfair to say be like Doom and achieve like Doom, because his talent was otherworldly. You know what I mean? Like, his talents are otherworldly.
Yeah, I mean, the impression I got from this individual was it was a bit tired.
Yeah. And we've seen that, drained humans, you know what I'm saying? Drained of life. Your past your days. And I feel like us as black and brown people in this society, we see it more because it happens to people when they're younger, And can tell you how many times I've been around people that they're of college age, but because they didn't make it to the NBA or didn't reach those next levels, no Division I, they move like their life is over. You know what I mean? And this is something that's taught to us, though. You know what I mean? That's taught to us to be like that. You know what I mean? And forget if he blows up or something. I was like, if you love it, though, don't let anybody stop you from making it, creating it, because the creating in one level can spark you to be creative in all the other levels. Find solutions. That's the whole point. The whole point you put children in sports or other things and creative efforts is they may not be the next Miles Davis or the next Jordan, right? But they learn how to build with other teammates. They learn how to make creative things together, like in a band. You know, you're making creative things together. You know, when you make music together, whether it's even hip hop, right? You're making it together. You know what I'm saying? You're learning how to
collaborative thing.
Right. You're learning how to build with people. You know what I'm saying? Even if you just write by yourself, you're learning how to create, though, just for the sake of it. And this leads you to be a better problem solver, because if you practice creation, you're also practicing for the real life of creating your own way, right? Because creating solutions is also an aspect of creation, right? So went through all that, but then after a while, I soured and I wasn't saying much, but it was like maybe 2, 3, and I said I had a couple of students.
Soured? You said
maybe soured toward him and was very hard on him.
Because
it was about 2 months in, and I had another student, and it was a young God, but I said, God, what's today's math? And he didn't get it. He didn't know today's math, so he didn't know today's date, and he couldn't quote like math, and I didn't even ask for a build on mathematics, but and I'm like, yo, after, what are you doing though?
Right. So
the
intention.
And it's like, oh, well, soon as you didn't send me this book, see this, that. I sent you math though, so what little I sent you should, you know what I mean? And every single class, whether it was online or when I had no online, I always used to go, if you text me or I don't answer back, or if you email me and I don't answer back, forward it back to me. Put it on top of the pile again. You know what I mean? Get me paying attention to it again. And so there's no excuse though. And being an older person though, I'm not gonna be here and like, oh, I'll call you later and we'll go through it so you get it properly. I'm not doing that.
That would be
I got younger students that I'm doing that with. I'm not doing that with you. If you're 14 or something, I'll do it. 15. You know what I'm saying?
40 plus.
Yeah, not late 40s. Mm-hmm. Not 30s either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, late 20s, really. Like. And
in the 20s, I start getting harsh. You know what I mean? Like if you're in your late 20s, I start getting harsh. You know what I mean? And which kind of like 20s is a new teens, right? So shit, But so what happened was that I said this, right? I told him, listen, you keep talking about this Ralph stuff and you're getting mad that a lot of other brothers and a lot of other gods I've taught, and a lot of other gods, they give you hassle because they always tell you to stop living in the past and this and that. And I said, listen, it all boils down to the negativity versus positivity. And you come in this cipher talking about your negativity. You know what I'm saying? You're talking with a victim mentality. There are people that are really victims though, and we've all been victimized. But one thing that is different from 5% is that we don't really talk like victims. We don't move like victims.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We talk like people that are creating realities while encountering challenges.
Right.
So we don't talk about victimization. We take it as it's a tougher challenge now. It's more love hell, right? It's more hell. The work. The hell is the work, not hell's being imposed. Oh, woe is me. So I said, listen, you have one assignment because you're not sharp with this. You got to get sharp. You have one major assignment aside from memorizing this damn alphabet, right? Do not address me with any negativity. I didn't tell him not to talk about that. I told him, don't address me with any negativity. Let's only speak positively. What are we building? What are we doing? How are we working? Right?
But he wants to hold on to his pain.
Right. So I had to leave. I had my daughter this one class, and my little one, and if I leave too late, I'll get her to bed too late. So I left, and the older gods were out there. I think it was Kahim and some others. So I was like, yo, this is a good cipher to leave you with. Get you strong, muscular.
Oh, man.
Tell me what you learned from them tomorrow, though. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be, at least I gave him something to positively speak to me. If you contact me, tell me what you learned, right? But I'm watching Ghostbusters with my daughter, enjoying myself, and he's texting me about a DJ that I know who's real peace with me, right? And saying how he's a snake though, because he's white, and he's a snake, and he did this to me. Do you know what he did to me? And I said, first of all, how would I know what he did to you? You know what I'm saying? And then he proceeds to give me like 10 about I don't know how long the minutes were, but they were long. 10 voice notes in my text message, and I'm not gonna. I'm here. I'm not gonna listen to this now. And plus, it's going against the assignment. I said to only address me positively, with positivity. You know what I'm saying? So I said, address me with positivity, and then we could build, right? So that was it. He said, you've been disrespectful for a while, because I've been hard on him. I haven't, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I haven't relegated to him. I cut him off. I don't let you be the talker if you're not with your assignments, though. And be lucky that I didn't just kick you out. So he starts insulting me throughout the rest of that volley. Oh. Then he calls me and I answer him. Then I'm like, I'm just going to tell him, like, listen, you didn't do the assignment. That wasn't what he didn't even let me talk. He's yelling at me. My father was still alive at the time. He don't yell at me. My big sister don't yell at me. Nobody yells at me. The elders don't yell at me. Even when I was wrong, the older gods, there's no older god that ever yelled. I'm sure Firstborn Prince and a lot of them yelled at people. No elder god has ever yelled at me. Right? They've corrected me when I was wrong. They've said I did what I did wrong, but they've never yelled at me. You know what I'm saying? I've been scolded, all of that. Never yelled at me. Always treated me with utmost respect. And this guy's yelling at me like crazy, God. So I said, no way, hang up. Man, God, he kept harassing me, calling me at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., things like that, where I couldn't figure out how to block the number. Like it just would come through, unknown number, and just come through. So I had to download an app to consistently block.
Wow.
I had to download an app to consistently block this MFer. You know what I mean?
So then that's when he decided to email
So
me.
he turns it into a hip hop thing. Oh, you know, because mind you, I'm doing it like the way people do now. I've never paid for studio time. I don't record in a studio. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, oh, you're not a real MC because you've never been in a studio. I said, I've been in many studios, many songs, many great songs I've seen, but I never recorded in a studio, and I'm sure it would be different. Right? But he's telling me, you're not an MC if you don't do it. He's writing this on the social medias. And King, he's putting King into it because we make the music together. And like, you guys got to be real hip-hop and actually take my challenge and battle me, you know? And I'm like, first of all, nobody knows you. Like, you don't have no name like that. You're not nice like that. You know what I mean?
Sunez, this is disgusting, man.
Yeah.
This is disgusting.
This is what he's doing. So I'm blocking him. King was upset about it, and he made a crazy diss song that was hilarious. And I said, you know what? He's not even. It's
not worth it.
He's not even doped like that. You know what I'm saying? We would have to educate people about who we're dissing to do that. However, what happened was that as we were making this third album that's out now, the Burnt Silk and Blessed Builds, there was a beat that he gave me. And in the chorus, King gave me the beat with the chorus and his verse. And the chorus was like, he's humming, because he's most deafish, you know what I mean? And he's like, you asked for it, now the truth is, now you're going to get it. So what King was talking about, like, meeting your idols and they ain't shit, but like, it didn't access to me because in this thing I've done, the people that I looked up to that I met, they were actually really great with me. Cool G Rap, KRS-One, Ice-T. These guys were great with me. Like, they were really nice with me and they gave me lots of hours on the interview, you know what I'm saying? So in my head, I couldn't think of anybody that was like famous. The people that are assholes with me are the guys that suck, you know? There are famous people I've seen that are whack, that think they're dope, and I don't like, but it just happened that I didn't really care about them like that anyway. So I got lucky. So in my years, it's not been like that. So I was like, you asked for it. I was like, you know what? I'm right about this motherfucker.
Oh, man.
You know, and that was the Jordan verse ELO song. Okay. And that's where I was saying, like, and that's why I said a Jack and Jill on a Cap'n Hill. You know, we don't accept your Agni Kai. You're fucking Agni Kai.
God, never in 1,000 years would I would think that you would enter a fucking rap beef. What?
Yeah.
What?
Now let me tell you something.
What dimension are we in?
There are MCs though that have thought I was beefing with them because my reviews were harsh though. But everything I write though, I say to them, like there was one MC that was like, "You didn't like the record like that?" And I said, "Listen, I wrote kind of creatively, so you're thinking I was like being clever, but I was very clear in there that your record was a little too commercial musically compared to your rest, and I think it falters. It makes you rhyme less good, like, you know, and whatever it was." And he don't really talk to me, and he didn't really care. I was nobody to him, and it was okay, you know. But whatever I wrote, I'm willing to say to your face. You know what I'm saying? And
now, see, I don't think this guy would say these things because I mean he even
and that was the thing. I wrote that before you ever emailed me that he was emailing you, and when you emailed me that snippet and I played the snippet, and this is for the people that are listening, that are watching this, the snippet that he sent the God Infinite to tell Infinite that I'm somebody that shouldn't be teaching, which is really troll. But it's the whole troll playbook. The whole troll playbook. The snippet was a diss song he made to me, and he called it Simp God because he got bombed by one of the Earths. And I let the Earth talk because he was saying stuff about dressing a certain way, and the Earth, this Earth though, I've known the Earth for years. I'm gonna say like 15 years, maybe even longer. And the Earth is very beautiful, and she's curvaceous though. So she's not one to. She can't really hide her body, right? You know, like she dresses respectable, but you're gonna know she's she's voluptuous, right? I'm just keeping it real. And so she had something to say about that because she felt like what he was saying was very derogatory. Because like, what about women that they just naturally beautiful? They're not dressing deliberately like that, but they still get the thing. And you can't just lump everything. And like I do in the classroom, I let everybody speak their mind first, and I like to get them to develop their ways. And she bombed them. She bombed them. And I felt that when you're young and when you have this knowledge as a newborn, you get bombed.
Right.
You get bombed up. You get told stuff that you're not ready for, and that is right and exact versus your thought you were right. And that's what he got. So that's why he called it Simp God, because I shouldn't have let her speak. You know? I shouldn't have let her speak.
But then he insulted that, which I find really like,
right.
He insulted
the real thing. Right.
That was like,
now my old Earth passed away in 2017.
What?
And he just happened to write in there, you know, and I'm glad that your mother died.
What?
And that she's in the dirt and the hell with her, and kept going. And
no, that's a bitch move. That's bitch.
Yeah, I've never heard that. God, you know, I wrote a whole song criticizing Jay-Z's career, and I never heard him say anything like that in a diss song. You know? I've never heard this song, somebody go at their mother. In fact, Eminem's music, when he buries his baby mamas, is bothersome to us because you're attacking a mother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't even like that. And Eminem has a lot of like disses toward his mom, you know, like that stuff we don't do. We love the old Earth and respect it even if we don't have one. And this was a thing, the accountability. This is why I knew he wasn't going to pass. Like he had issues with the God 07, omnipotent Allah. He had issues with him, who was the most peaceful person in the universe. You know what I mean? And he had issues with him because the people that he works with, he felt they did him dirty too. And now he didn't want him to work with them. And it's like, I know you for like a month, and the people I work with for years are no good now, right? You have to prove these kind of things. And he did it. And he was getting mad. Peace, God.
Peace.
And so that was the thing. But to say something, I'll tell you something. I wrote that song, Jordan Versilo, has that diss against him, and I think it's powerful enough. But if someone disses my old Earth like that, like is glad they're dead, or wishes harm on them and something like that, I'm saying that's not something I write songs against. That's not a rap beef that I'm in. I'm not in that rap beef.
Yeah.
This is something else you put yourself into. And I'm just gonna say, I'm not writing a song as if that would vindicate that. You know what I'm saying?
I said, you don't know Sunez, man?
Yeah.
You put karate to your body.
You know? Yeah, you know? And it's pathetic. It shows you that he couldn't think of bad things to say about me.
You still in here?
So he had just this insult, my reality. You know, because how's that working a diss song? It's like, oh, he's making songs without going to a studio. How is that a diss? Like, how is that like amazing bars? There's nothing he could say, because all that he got from me was things that I gave him, things I taught him. You know? And he failed a basic assignment that I think everybody, all of us, always need to be working on. You know? Peace, God. Is, yo, how far are we going into negativity? You know what I mean? Because look, Dayson just walked in, and if we took out a scroll though and wrote down little details in short vignettes as possible as we could, all of the bad things that people have done to us in this industry, man, we'd be here all night. We'd be here all night, right, God? So we can't spend our time doing that. And I used to tell him, listen, you want to be known for that? That's what you want to be known for? You want to be known for what people did to you or what you did? You know?
So you're still teaching him while...
Yeah, I still give you a lesson.
Still teaching.
You know, I spank to the very end, you know, with the lesson. I spank you with the lesson, you know?
If Mecca did this.